We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. Warren Buffett. Hi, my name is Andy, and I have over 20 years of experience in business and investing. I've started a new YouTube channel where I've compiled the knowledge of the world's greatest investors. Please support my channel by hitting the like button and be sure to subscribe so you get all the new videos. It's very important to me. The topic of today's video is why cash is more important than Apple shares for Warren Buffett. Enjoy watching.
Sometimes we will be. The last 10 years we haven't been. But over 55 years it's worked, and it will continue working. But it will not work at all like it did when we were working with $100 million or $1 billion. There's no question about that. But we've got good businesses, and we won't be in the bottom quartile, I promise you that, over any long period of time.
There are people, like there were back in 1999, who have said, maybe you've lost your edge. It was a similar thing in 1999 where you saw the technology stocks that were the big high flyers that people were pouring their money into, the dot-com companies and a lot of others associated with that. If you look at the markets again, it's the technology companies that have the big runs. This time you're participating in Apple, which is one of those front runners. But is this a cyclical thing to you? You think there'll be another market downturn and then
Berkshire there'll be a downturn sometime.
And then Berkshire outperforms at that point, or?
Oh, we'll outperform in a down market, but that may not be particularly satisfactory to people. But no, we will, because we have these businesses that are making money, and I mean we're geared somewhat away from a full market participation in either direction. But that's fine. We own, if you think about it, we're 80-some% in equities. We may show 230 or 40 billion in equities, and that looks like we're against our market cap. We're 40%, but we own 100% of these other businesses. Those are equities too. I mean, we own a railroad, and we own insurance companies, and those are equities. So we're about 80% roughly in equities, and about 20% in cash. And I'd rather have that 20% in other good businesses, but that is to some extent a curse of size, and it's to some extent the fact that it's very hard. If interest rates stay at this level, we'll wish for the next 10 or 20 years, we'll wish we'd been 125% in equities. I mean, equities are so much cheaper than bonds, long bonds, that something will change in a major way. I just don't know what. And I want to be prepared for anything, obviously.
So that's why you keep so much cash around. You want to be able to be prepared for a downturn. You want to be prepared for a crisis.
We want to be prepared for anything, Becky. We want to be prepared for pandemics. We want to be prepared for anything comes along. Yeah, that is the chief job I have. I have people's money that gave it to me 50 or 60 years ago, and some of them still have 100% of their money are essentially in it. And the one thing. And I've got the responsibility for 5 foundations that presently are going to get 80 billion, and I think we'll get a lot more over time, probably. We don't want to permanently lose money, and you don't want to get that so that you go into a shell and don't do anything. But we have obligations to people on workers' compensation claims and auto accidents they've had that go out 50 years, and we have to run the place so that every check clears under any circumstances. And that's why, incidentally, we own treasury bills. We don't own commercial paper. We don't rely on bank lines or anything. When people get terrified, and they will occasionally, everything freezes. I mean, and you're going to have to stand on your own feet at a time like that. It won't happen very often, but it'll happen occasionally.
I know you've developed a thick skin over the years, but does it tick you off when people start questioning whether you've lost it, whether you can still? Well,
I'm sure I've lost some of it. I mean, I can tell you all kinds of things I've lost. No, that happens. But we haven't lost Geico or the railroads we own. Berkshire, without me, is worth essentially the same as Berkshire with me. I mean, my value added is not high, but I don't think I'm subtracting value. But the big thing is how our businesses do and what what we get to add in the way of businesses over time. And we can add them through marketable securities. I mean, we own 5.5% or a little over % of Apple. It's probably the best business I know in the world. And we own 5.5% of it. And that is a bigger commitment that we have in anything except insurance and the railroad. So it's our third largest business.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to support me. And watch the next very helpful video right now. The link to it will appear on my left. Also, please subscribe to my channel to be the first who learn from the world's best investors.